What's going on, guys? Today I am going to be crafting some shaped amulets, and since this is still Delve League, I'm going to be using fossils to craft. So fossils are just the best way, in my opinion, to craft right now, and they might be going forward. We'll see, time will tell. But let's get into it. The combo I'm going to be using today is Jagged, Etheric, and Prismatic. This is coincidentally the same combo I used on stat sticks because we are looking for the same rolls we're looking for on stat sticks. So that is double as extra, and then anything else good, any other good prefix. So life, penetration, high wed, things like that. Each base that I have today is item level 86. You do not need to have an item level 86 amulet to craft this way. I would recommend at least an item level 76 amulet. Item level 76 gives you T1 as extra rolls, T1 accuracy, T1 fizz, so those are all really good DPS mods. Item level 82 is the next big leap, and that gives you T1 LE Pen, T1 increased damage per dex int, but you probably want to craft on a specific base for that, and reduce mana reserve, things like that are shaper specific and are actually pretty good. And then after that, the big things are probably 85 is T1 Quant, and then of course 86 gives you T1 Wed. And a cool trick that I'm going to do today, which also involves quite a few Vaal orbs, is if I hit an amulet that's not very good, I don't know if many people know this, you might know this, you can salvage any amulet, even if it's bricked, if it's corrupted, if it's, if it's whatever, after you Vaal the amulet. So let's say just Vaal this, right? Oh, it turned into, this would have bricked, right? Turned into 8 mod, or 6 mod, sorry. What you can do is you can then go to a vendor, like Haku here, and you take a green gem, red gem, blue gem, can be any gem, doesn't matter, as long as it's green, red, blue. You put in your amulet and you get a clean base back. So it's like a free scouring orb on your item, no matter what happened. So hit accept, and look at that. Item level 100 base back, clean. So you can pretty much Vaal freely, knowing that, well, I mean, as long as you don't care if the item breaks, you can Vaal fairly freely, knowing that you can get your base back no matter what. So let's just go ahead and get right into it and see what we can hit. So here's already T1 spell damage, but then it has fizz to attacks. Now this is not a useful combo. Maybe back in the day, Crown of Eyes, but these days that's not really a thing. Then again, it does have T1 spell damage and an as extra roll, so I'm going to set it aside, and that's a good Vaal candidate. Here we go, we have spell damage, good res, and max ES. This one we could Vaal freely. Okay. So T2 as extra, the delve only prefix, global fizz damage, and the final prefix is leech, unfortunately. It does have good all res. We'll go ahead and Vaal it, see what happens. Here's some as extra, nothing else though. Global fizz again, this time it's accompanied with tempered, so T2 flat fizz. 1 good res, but then nothing else. The 9 life gained on kill is a suffix, that's garbage. So close, but not quite on this one, just roll over it. Spell damage int, all res, cold res. And here we have spell damage, global fizz, penetration, and some decent res. This one's kind of all over the place, but I'll go ahead and Vaal it anyways. It's close. Okay, so here we go. This one's very good actually. The suffixes aren't very good, but the prefixes are great. So we have as extra, we have pen, and we have spell damage. So I can decide if I want to annul this one, try to get off a suffix. Cast speed is very good. The all res and the life gained is pretty trash, but the cast speed is great. That one's probably a keeper to sell. I might try to annul it. So let's start with this guy here, and it bricked. Next, I crafted master mods on these. If they had an open spot, just in case it does hit, it's a little bit better of an amulet then. So that one, nothing happened, we'll just vendor it. Brick, and the final one, nothing happened. So nothing happened there. Thankfully, we can just go ahead and turn them back to normal, clean bases. Fizz is extra, spell damage with fire. Now you don't want elemental damage to attacks like fire damage, cold damage, lightning damage, because you want to be scaling physical damage. If you're going to utilize those fizz extra mods, you want to be scaling fizz damage. So the fire damage mod on this is useless if you had a cold damage mod or whatever. Like this one has cold, just as I say that, it's useless when you're scaling that fizz extra. This one has T1 Quant. Now this is a little bit risky, but when we hit this T1 Quant, what I've decided to do is just annul off the other mods if I can help it, and then if I can get a clean T1 Quant base, I will multi-mod it out and Vaal it because it's fun, and you might as well. It only costs you 2 exalts. It's a super fun gamble. Let's see what happens here. You would ideally use a gold amulet for this, but let's just see what happens. Okay, so now we're left with the delve only prefix, global fizz damage, and the quantity, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and multi-mod this base out. Okay, so here we go. Let's slap on can have multiple crafted modifiers. This costs 2x. This is a bit of a gamble, and I don't know if I'm going to get much resale value on it, but let's give it a shot. So there's our multi-mod. Now we can craft on up to 3 more mods, 1 suffix and 2 prefixes, so most likely I'm going to go with life here. Most people are playing life builds, so we'll slap on some life, and then probably all res for the suffix. Could do crit chance, could do rarity, but because it's an Onyx base, let's just go with all res. And then for the prefix, we can do, what can we do here? We could do adds damage to attacks, maybe cold for Wind Ripper, but fizz damage, let's just go with increased physical damage, or you could craft move speed. Let's just go ahead and slap on some fizz damage. This is kind of a wonky amulet, but we're gonna Vaal it anyways. Okay, so let's go ahead and Vaal these 3. These 2 are pretty whatever. This one's pretty weird, although I did bless it up to 16 all attributes in case it doesn't brick. Let's start with this one. It didn't brick, so I'll try to sell that one. I honestly don't know if I'm going to get my 2x back. That one's pretty weird, but it was a fun try. And let's do these 2 here. Nothing happened, and it bricked. Okay, so we'll go ahead and vendor these ones down and keep going. Here's 20 as extra, a little bit of fizz damage actually, which is pretty good. And unfortunately cast speed doesn't really go with those fizz to attacks. Decent res, we can Vaal that one. Okay, spell damage, pen, global fizz damage, those are the 3 prefixes. Pretty solid with good res rolls, it's worth a Vaal. Here we go. 23 Purity of Lightning. That's not very good. I mean, it depends. Purity of Lightning, sometimes you can see Purity of Ice working for like Uber Elder farming. I think that one's going to be just a brick in my book. Nothing happened there. Nothing happened there, and nothing happened there. So go ahead and vendor recipe these down. I think I'm just going to vendor recipe this one down as well. It's decent, but not that good. Okay, fizz damage, nothing happening there. There we go, that's more like it. So this one has T1, T2, and a little bit of spell damage with all res. That one's quite good. Might Vaal it anyways. Alright, here we go, another round of Vaaling incoming. So we'll start with this guy, 2 and his extra with good res. Brick. This one's T2 with good wed, a little bit of res. Oh, that one bricked as well. 2 bricks in a row, okay. Pen, multi, spell damage. Purity of fire. So again, purities are not what we're looking for. The implicit did change, just not what I wanted. So just vendor it down. Life, cold damage, lightning damage. This one is super weird. It's actually good. It's T2 life with T1 all res, and then I guess that's T2, I don't know. I think that's T1 cold lightning. Those suffixes are really good with life. I don't know, I'm definitely going to have to figure out what I'm going to do with that one. That one's pretty weird, and it's actually quite good. Here we go again, boys. T1, T2 with mana, unfortunately, but that's quite a good one. I decided I'm going to Vaal this guy. It's T2, T2 with T2 spell damage. It's quite good, but I think I'm just going to Vaal it. The only downside to Vaaling this is we have to choose the final suffix, so if it doesn't brick, the buyer has no choice once it's corrupted. I'm going to go ahead and divine it, try to get those 2 as extra rolls as close to 15 as possible. 14, 12, 15, 11. Let's see if we can go a little bit better than that. 14, 14, that's fine. That's 1 off on each with 1 off on spell damage. And let's see what happens. These ones are a little risky, so we'll start this one. We got Dex and Strength implicit. That's kind of weird. I don't know if that's usable. We'll set it aside for now. Maybe in some builds, Dex, Strength. I'm not sure. Alright, next one. This one's pretty expensive. It bricked. Oh, no. Oh, that feels bad. Okay, that's unlucky. What could you do? It was worth a shot. Oh, that's unfortunate. That was T2, T2, T2. It's gone. Okay, and then these guys here. Let's see what we get. Nothing happened, so we'll just vendor that one down. And nothing happened. Wow, of course the best one bricks. Ah, unfortunate. But what can you do? We'll vendor these down. Here's spell damage, cold damage as extra, and pen. This one's pretty solid. Okay, so I went ahead and blessed this one up to perfect, because if it doesn't brick, it's actually super good. I'm gonna go ahead and sell it. I could divine it, but it's only 2 off. Pen is perfect, spell damage is perfect. We'll keep it as is. The other one's just crafted on a master mod as usual. Let's go ahead and see what happens. Let's start with this one. Fire damage leeched his life. That's actually probably worse than the implicit, so that's unlucky. We'll keep it anyways, but yeah, not ideal on that one. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. And again, increased attributes. I don't think that's good. Well, at least not on this amulet, that's for sure. This amulet's not good really to start with, so nothing happened in there. This one got leech, and we'll keep rolling. Here's pen, spell damage. These are such low rolls, unfortunately. T2 is extra, T2 pen, and T5 spell damage. Whatever, we'll hit it with the Vaal orb. No harm. Let's roll over it. So T1 is extra with pen, and T1 all res, low fizz to attacks, but that means we can just craft on another res on there and call it a day, so not terrible. Okay, T1 is extra, T1 cast speed, and pen with all res, again decent, so these ones are all good to be Vaaled now. This one's pretty bad. Hopefully that doesn't hit a good implicit. I'd be a little sad, but the rest are decent. Here we go. So brick, nothing happened, nothing happened, and the last one, nothing happened. Alright, unlucky. We'll just vendor them and move on. What is going on with this one? This one's hilarious. This one's crazy. So it's T1 spell damage, delve only prefix global fizz, then fire damage, lightning damage, cast speed, those are all suffixes, and then penetration to top it off. This one is actually pretty hilarious. I don't know what would use that, but that's a lot of damage mods. It's all damage mods, actually. Every single mod on that amulet is damage. Interesting. Yeah, okay, let's just go ahead and do it. First one, nothing. Second one, bricked. Third, nothing happened. And this is probably the best of them. Nothing happened. Okay, so hang on to that one. If they brick or if they don't change, they're gone. If we hit a nice implicit, we can keep it. Nothing happened. Brick, clarity. So yeah, this amulet's just not very good to start with. The level 21 clarity's not that great. Yeah, we'll probably just go ahead and roll over that one. The final 6 to get dumped into this amulet. Let's see what we can hit here. Fire cold, max ES, nothing there. So T2 is extra with good res on the all res, and then trash lightning, no prefixes. That's just a brick. That's a brick as well. Pen, oof, these last ones are not going well. 2 more. Spell cast and armor, not so good. And let's see here, we have T2 as extra, decent all res, global fizz, so not that great. Probably not even worth vaaling that one, to be honest. Let's vaal these 2, and you know what? Alright, fine. Let's do it. Alright, this is maybe a bad idea, but it's gonna be fun. So these are our best 2 amulets from the set. It's T1, T2. This one has mana as the final prefix. This one has spell damage. So this one is better than this one. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna slam. They each have an open suffix. So we're gonna slam the suffix. Let's block. Let's just block dexterity on this one. Slam the suffix. See what we get. Accuracy. So it would be good, but it's not very good with spell damage, unfortunately, but we'll keep it. It's decent. And let's block. This one already has intelligence. Let's just block dex again. See what we get on this guy. Fire res, that's really bad. Unlucky on that one, but what can you do? Now we're going to go ahead and divine it up so we can get those close to 2015. 2012, that's decent. 1913, same as 2012 basically. Let's hit him a few more times, I guess. 1612 worse. 15, 17, so that's 3 off, so that's about the same, I guess. How are we doing on the accuracy? Decent. Whatever, we're committed now. Let's go. If we're gonna vaal it, we can't change it, so let's keep going. 1912, 2013, that's 2 off with 10, so pretty good all res. Let's try this guy now. 1812. 1711, 2013, so that's also 2 off. 2 off, 2 off. Alright, let's do it. So we're going to vaal these 2. They are not very good, and these 2 are our best amulets from the session. Let's start with vaaling this one here. Wrath has increased aura effect. That's decent. It's probably the best implicit we've hit so far, considering we've only hit leech and attributes. But it's not super great, but that is actually decent. Alright, and this guy here. Nothing happened. Okay, so saved. And now, here we go, boys. This is it. These are worth quite a bit of currency. Let's just do it. Nothing left to do but do it. Okay, cold leech, so not a brick, not ideal, but not a brick, and nothing happened. We're saved. Alright guys, so that pretty much wraps up this crafting session. I did pretty well. I hit 2 T1, T2 as extra amulets with okay-ish suffixes, and then a bunch of interesting weird amulets along the way. I think I'm going to try to squeeze in one last Vaal axe hurrah before Delve ends. It's going to end in a few days here, and then I'm going to be a little bit AFK for a while because I'm moving. But hopefully everybody's looking forward to Betrayal. I know I am. It's going to be very interesting for crafting. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. What do we need on here? Curse, max res. It's not even that good. Oh, he did. Hit me. Oh! I did it on a bad one. Not like this.